My next question, I'll have Manisha kick this one off. Can you give us an example of how being a project leader or being involved in a team has benefited you outside of ACT?
Well, I think I've sort of very single-mindedly chosen projects that would be helpful. No, it's, I think most of us tend to, choose projects that are of personal interest to us at some level. One of the first projects I did was for the Santa Clara County Health Department. They were doing an immunization registry. And shortly after that, I had my first child. And, it's little things like that where, just learning something more about a system, something I would never, ever have learned anything about. And to understand the importance of the system, what are the kind of checkpoints within that system. And just when you gain knowledge about areas that are just not within your main area of expertise. So my field being technology and strategy, I've learned so much more about healthcare, about education, about special needs than I ever would have done just doing what I was doing. And sometimes it can open up new career avenues for you as well. For example, now that I'm raising children, I'm kind of semi-retired, as I call myself. It just opens my eyes to different things that are out there to do and a way to maybe channel my career into a different area as time goes on. So that's been, to me, a real great personal benefit, apart from the benefit of just helping.
When I started working with ACT Teens, one of the things I really liked was I got to see a lot of different nonprofits. And then when I was teaching through the student papers that I would require, I got to see hundreds of nonprofits. And after a while, you think you've seen almost everything. And it really helps when you go in then to work with a nonprofit. It helps me in my job because I'm managing one, but I'm also on 6 boards. So I think that this is really going to, I understood in my class that I was teaching here after a while, I wasn't going to teach people who were going to go in and work for nonprofits. I was actually training board members because they came in under the special dispensation to work in the government or nonprofit sector, and then they racked up the student loans, and they all they all left and became consultants. And so I realized that it was the board work. So I am now a very valuable board member in my community because people know that I have this area of expertise. And then the other thing I think is that I have really benefited from meeting some terrific people through ACT. And that's the fun part. I mean, when we see each other, we remember the project we worked on, and it's something that you bond with people and you have in common. You're all there trying to help the community, and you get to do that with some really talented folks.
And that's both on the client side and the team side.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Yeah, I've had the experience on the team side. The folks that I go bicycling with and have coffee with are people I worked on projects with.
And then there are just really practical connections. I mean, I'm an independent consultant, and one of my team members a couple of projects back thought highly enough of me to recommend me to another organization. And I don't normally do nonprofit consulting on a fee basis, but I took on this other a new client, because based primarily on my teammate's recommendation. I met a guy who was a real estate agent who was on one of my teams who helped my mother sell her house. I mean, you meet all kinds of people on ACT teams. So, yeah, I mean, I think the important thing is you meet some really terrific people on your team. So do take the opportunity to get to know them, because it's not just this project, but they're pretty cool people. I just think all of you are pretty cool people for having volunteered. So. Take the time to get to know the rest of your team.